this is all our songs written on an envelope because I don't have any paper. And we did it about 10 minutes ago. So we're going to play through the EP backwards because the songs actually get progressively much easier. Because the first song is pretty... Sorry, harder.
Yeah, the first song is really
The songs
hard.
get easy as it goes through the EP. That's
really
why we're doing
difficult.
it backwards. So it goes from Perfect Life, which is probably the easiest. So I don't know how to pay taxes, which is pretty difficult. And we just spent about 15 minutes trying to reteach ourselves it, and I can play about half of it.
As is with most songs on the EP, to be fair, we can play about half of it.
It's going to be main chord structure for most of them. Grab a guitar. Put it into standard tuning, which probably already is in because that's normal. And you can hold a C chord. You know what a C chord is?
A C chord is, oh no.
Yes, I'll let you go.
A C chord
there.
is one of these.
So you get your pointer finger on the first fret of the B string, which is the second smallest string on the guitar, if you're new to a guitar. On the D string, you put your middle finger on the second fret. That's the third fret. Ring finger on the A string on the third fret. That is a C chord.
Or you could just Google C chord. This is Perfect Life by Deadbox.
And then...
So you literally, I'm not very good at finger picking, so all you do is just go down each string, and then you go.
So how do you go ba-ba-ba?
You just say it. You hold down the third fret of the E string, that one, with your pinky because you want the rest of it to be there, just because it's easier to hold it. And you literally just play it twice, and then there's like no
let go and play notes.
You just let go, and then it goes, and then you're on to chord number 2. You've now learned half the song.
There's only 2 chords in the
song.
song.
There are 2 chords.
But you can never recreate it because it was put through an analog mixer with some weird sounds, and we don't know how to recreate it. It just sounded cool, so you recorded it, and then we don't really know what else to do.
So it's like the F root note here, which is this bad boy, and as if you were playing an F power chord, if you're familiar with power chords or bar chords or whatever, just on the third fret of the A string.
Yes.
Correct. And you just go down from there, the same as the C. So it's so the 4. And then it's the same again with the, except this time you go, so you just play an open B string. And I think that's because I fucked up.
It's going to be about 10 seconds left.
And there you go. That's the entire song.
Perfect Life. You can now play Perfect Life, or the main structure of it.
And then the lyrics are Perfect Life times 18.
Alright, so the next one, moving backwards through the EP, we have Suitcase. What we're doing for this one, Phoebe's going to play guitar again because she recorded that. Well, you play a D power chord with the root on the A string. So
it's just a D power chord.
So that's on the 5th fret, the first finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and then these 2 fingers, so your little finger and your ring finger, are going on the 7th fret of the D and G string.
Yes, there, your D, and then it's the same shape but up to the down technically, but physically up to the E string.
And that's also going down to the 7th fret.
You go to the A chord, which is on the 5th fret. This is the EP.
You can hear it now. Yeah, it's a D, a B, an A, and a G.
G, or that's 5, 7, 5, 3.
Yeah.
And then we have a solo. It's really creative because it's completely unique to this song.
Shut up.
That's the solo.
We'd like to show everyone where it is.
This is an awkward sitting position. So you slide from here, which is number 8, to
on the B string,
number 12, and then you literally just go. So it's like just kind of as many times as you kind of hear in the song, because I think I change it.
Fret 8. 8, you slide the note when you're playing it from 8 down to 12. and then you play the 10 on the same string, then the 12, then the 10 again, then the 12, then the 10, then the 12 again, and then you go back to the 8.
Down to 8.
Because 8 is the G, which is the root note.
Rinse and repeat for the entire song.
Yeah, that's how you play Suitcase.
Because
yeah, there's the left ear bit and the right ear bit, and that's the whole song. Bass in the middle is just all the root notes, playing the same as the chords.
Drums brought to you by Guns. Okay, now it's time for
Now time to play the title track.
The title track. Gang.
Is that audible?
Oh, that sounds like the start of that Queen song.
The first bass part's actually you're gonna play on the guitar, aren't you?
Oh, can be. This is
Yeah.
G.
So G, it's all this is played on the E string.
I didn't get that.
I want to break free.
On the E string, you play the G note, which is the 3rd fret on the E string, and then you go up to the 7th fret on the E string, which is your B note, and then you go down to your 5th fret on the E string, which is your A note. G G G G B B B B A A.
Like that.
Cool.
And that's the start.
Right. So the next bit, he used to play some more power chords for you.
Yeah, so it's literally the same as the bit before. That bit. It's the same, just you have a chord, so it goes and then there's like some space and sounds like it.
That I play on.
Yeah. If that kind of makes sense, it's just power chords.
And you're strumming down.
Yeah, you just play each note, except this one has this one in the middle. And that's the ambient section on guitar.
Walnut.
Steps enter the building.
We're only playing these 3 notes, so G, A, B. So there's a bass bit, which I'm going to play now. G, G, A, B, B, G, G, G. Then we've got basically the same thing that you would just play on the guitar. G, A, B. G, A, B. G, A, B. B, A, G.
Bag. Gab,
Bag.
gab, bag.
Gab, gab, bag.
It's gab, gab, bag.
And that's kind of the entire song.
So we're now officially halfway through the EP.
Yeah, lucky you. You don't have to watch this for very much longer. Yeah, so now we're on to 6 hours. So what you're going to do, get your acoustic guitar, standard tuning, be a cap on the 6th fret. These fingers are going to stay here, so little finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then your ring finger just above it on the 3rd fret of the B string. And you're going to start with a bit of an A minor chord, or A minor 7 or 9, whatever it is. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then pointer finger, index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. So,
Wow.
you play it twice, and then you lift up your ring finger here, so it's an open B string. And then with this finger still up, you move these 2 fingers up 1 string each, so it creates a bit of an F sharp kind of thing. And then you put down your ring finger back on that B string. And just between every 2, just do a little flick up of the strings. I don't need. So that's the first part of that. And then what you do, you slide these fingers along. So now your index and ring finger are on the 3rd fret of the E and A string. You're going to lift up your ring finger again, play another 2, and then you lift up your middle finger and then play another 2, and then you put down your ring finger again and play another 2, but do little upstrokes in the middle of them. They can kind of watch my hands. In the second half of the chorus, you kind of just play similar chords through. So you play the A minor one, and then you keep these fingers where they are for this entire bit. Move up, so you're in the F sharp kind of shape again, and then slide across, so you're in that kind of G-ish with the C. So yeah, that kind of plays through twice. So, and then you go through a little bridge where Phoebe says "ooh" a few times and
ripping off the pixies.
it says ripping off the pixies because it sounds like the beginning of Where Is My Mind? Not really. But
Not
like,
really, but
we think it did.
that was
You-
sorry that okay.
So the outro of the song, we're using a G. So a G chord, you're keeping your fingers where they are, putting your first finger, index finger on the second fret of the A string, middle finger on the third fret of the E string. And then we're doing a C sharp, only two fingers on this one, but your index finger on the second fret of the D string, ring finger on the fourth fret of the A string, and then it's a C chord.
D.
So it's you play the G, then you play the C instead first, and then slide on to that C sharp.
Who did you steal that chord off, Aaron?
So this chord here is used a lot by Elliott Smith. Technically, every chord is ever played is stolen, because that's that part. So when it gets into kind of rhythm strumming, just go back from the C to the C sharp when you play the C sharp first. So when you play the C first, you go from the C sharp back to the C. That's 6 hours on the acoustic guitar. I like it because it's easy. You can play 6 hours now. Lucky you. So what we're doing for Never Do is we're starting with just these two fingers, so your index and your ring finger. You're using the E string, which is the 6th string, top one there, and you're using your G string, the 3rd string from the bottom. And we're just doing alternate picking of them, so E, G, E, G. So doing them both on the 7th fret, and then you slide down and you play with the E string on 10th, and then G strings on the 11th. So keep this exact shape and slide it so your first finger's on the 2nd fret there. So you play that in the same picking pattern, and then just slide it down one, and then you slide back down. So you're on the 7th again, and you use that initial shape, and both on the 7th fret. Slide back down, and then you slide back to the 7th, and then do that shape again, 5th fret of the E string there.
Stop me!
Then we get to our bass. It's like basically the same, but there's a slight alternative at the end. 7, 10, 2, 3, 7, 10, 7, 5, 7, 10, 2, 3, 7, 10, and then you go to 3, 2, 10, 7. So the chorus is, we're going to use the almost exact same shapes, but instead your middle finger is going to be on the A string and just following where your index finger is going. E, A, G, A, G. Then you slide down, so these fingers kind of stay together. This one goes where it would have gone in the verse. So E, A, G, A, G. Then you slide back to the 7th and play the same they did on the 7th there, and then you slide that down to the 5th, and then play what you played on the 12th with the picking hand.
How did you come up with the picking hand, Aaron?
So yeah, that's the main chorus and verse. So when the chorus comes in, there's a tiny little lead part. So you play from the 10th fret this time first. So play that twice, and then slide down to the 7th on this same E string, the high E string. And then you slide to the 5th and hit it 3 times, and then kind of slide it up there, so you get the woo. So. And that kind of goes out throughout the entire of of the chorus. And then Phoebe plays the other lead bit that goes on in your right ear.
So it's that 7 on the G string, then 9 on the G string, and then 7 on the B, and then 10, and then 7, 10, 7, 9, 7. And now you can play the majority of the Dead Fox EP. So.
We're going to be using a different guitar. You do not hit the E string.
You
Rattles
want
and
to
sounds
hit the
bad.
E string, it's tuned down to an A. And your A string, you don't have to do anything to it. Your D string is tuned down to be a C sharp. Then your G string is tuned down to an E. Your B string, this one's risky, tuned up to a C sharp. And then your E stays the same as an E. And that is the tuning for Home by Downcry.
Putting our capo on the 5th fret. I don't know what it turns the tuning into. What did I play? That. But what we're doing now is playing a middle finger, our ring finger and our little finger on the 3rd fret of the A, D and the G string. I keep my index finger there on the 1st fret of the G string because you lift your finger up later in the song. And then what you do is you lift up your pinky finger and you have your index finger on the 1st fret, so it becomes that. And then you take off your index finger so the G string is open. You're going to want to hit the... Wait, did we write down what the 5, 3, 4, 3, 4. But on the last part of the low bit, so you do the... You're going to put your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and you're going to shift your picking pattern down, so you start on the D string. 4, 2, 3, 2. I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you get to that part, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 2 bars, you put your, that finger on the 3rd fret, B string. And then you put your index finger on the 1st fret, the B string, you lift this one. It was really hard to play. Yeah. So then the chords are very similar, 3, 3, but then the first the index finger goes on the 1 of that G string, and then you put your pinky finger back on the 3rd fret of that B string. You don't want any of these chords to chord because the tuning's weird.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I don't know how to pay taxes goes. That is the entire
That's
EP,
the
I
entire
think.
EP, yay.
I hope you enjoyed learning that.
Yeah.
This is how to play everything on the EP. And then I don't know how to pay tax on the back.
Valuable information.
This is what we did. That's our entire EP on an envelope.
We're gonna burn it.